It all began with a baptism ceremony on the Ikskay River a few weeks ago. A freak thunderstorm caused the river to flood within seconds, sweeping away a group of congregants, leaving 14 people dead. The pastor disappeared after the incident, but was found days later. A 3-month-old baby is still missing, with the search being called off temporarily. About 213 formal households and more than 60 informal settlements were damaged. Otto Pistorius has been without power for 11 days following the storms. It's been a nightmare trying to get city power to restore his power.
For me, it's also disappointing. I know that city power is under a lot of pressure. We've had huge weather storms over Johannesburg in the last 2 weeks. I also know that load shedding is not making their work any easier. But the way that city power has dealt with it, for me, is disappointing. I don't think that they were, in our case, totally transparent or totally honest.
Days of heavy rains and flooding left homes destroyed and many displaced, and extensive damage to the city's infrastructure, including roads, bridges and electricity substations.
We're sitting with a figure of 300 million. That figure has gone up to 421 million rand in damage to state infrastructure. The main increase comes from the side of City Power, who initially submitted an assessment of around 31 million rand. That has gone up to 49 million rand. Equally, the Department of Human Settlements has issued a revised number.
City Power has battled to reconnect areas plunged into the dark during the storms, slowly reducing the backlog of 5,000 outraged calls, despite a temporary reprieve from Eskom for a 72-hour load-shedding break to repair damaged infrastructure. Persistent rains thwarted this attempt.
Unfortunately, the heavy rains has done some damage to our infrastructure, and at times makes it impossible for us to be able to restore your supply as soon. And this is because access at times is restricted due to trees that have fallen on the roads or on our infrastructure, due to roads that are eroded, make it difficult to go through.
The mayor is seeking to declare a local state of disaster.
The declaration of a local state of disaster enables us, when necessary, to access resources from the provincial and national spheres of government and accelerate supply chain management processes. We do not want a repeat of a feverish scramble for contracts like we saw during the early COVID-19 years. Therefore, the city's group risk and assurance services will keep a focused eye on procurement.
Analysts say while the delay could be administrative, it's also likely to be influenced by the current political climate in the city.
So there are 3 administrative actions that must be satisfied in order for an area to be declared as a disaster area. So it must then be lawful. Those administrative actions must be lawful, and it must also be reasonably, and it must be procedurally fair as well.
Wet and rainy conditions are predicted over the next few weeks. Nozintombi Mia, SABC News.